Shabbat Shalom. Momentarily, we'll have our regularly scheduled volunteer Devar Torah sermon, but I felt compelled to interject a few words from my perspective. This has been a profoundly difficult week for the Jewish community here in Ottawa, not least the disaster that was the Capitol Pride Parade, but more recently this week, a member of our community, a woman, once a member of KBI, was doing something as ordinary as shopping for groceries at the kosher Loblaws. There she was viciously stabbed by a man in what the police have now officially declared an anti-Jewish hate crime. We are relieved and grateful to hear that she is expected to make a full recovery, but we know her emotional and spiritual healing will take much longer. This heinous, senseless act, this attack, is a painful microcosm of the trauma of our community that we've been enduring since, I want to say October 7th, but it's much before that, as we all know. We're reeling from a dramatic rise in Jew hatred, hateful posters in our parks, on our lampposts, swastikas drawn in the snow on our front lawn, and vile messages spray-painted on our garage doors. And the list goes on and on and on. The world around us these days feels hostile and frightening. In the face of this, seeing friends and allies gives us strength. I want to extend a particular warm welcome to our esteemed guests who are with us this morning in solidarity. Lane Johnson, City Councillor for College Ward, where I and many of you live. Richard Long, Interfaith Engagement Pastor and Pastor of One Way Ministries and Pastor of Vineyard Ottawa Church, and MPP Chandra Pasma. We are so grateful for your presence and the support you represent. Thank you for being with us. Yesterday, as I was shopping for Shabbat at Loblaws myself, I had the opportunity to speak with Mayor Mark Sutcliffe and Adam Silver, the CEO of Jewish Federation, who were there in the very, very quiet kosher section to speak about the crime committed in the store. Mayor Sutcliffe was there as he professed precisely to help improve our community's safety, a vital and required step. I thank the mayor for his staunch support, especially now. I shared with him that I hold two opposing realities in my heart. On the one hand, I must show up here and wear my kippah. These are my personal values, and I'm a spiritual leader for our community. To hide my identity or to not show up at all would be to let hatred win. But on the other hand, I am very scared to be here. I shared my appreciation again with him for his support. But we all know it's not enough for him or any of our politicians to visit Loblaws or post lip service on social media, as Carney and Ford and Polyev all did yesterday. We're here with you, Jewish community. This shouldn't be happening in Canada. Well, it's happening in Canada. It's happening in Ottawa. It's happening in the store where we all shop. Damn right I'm scared. This is the point in my initial draft where I got very angry and very loud. But I tempered my message. We need to take our energy and our disappointment in Canada and use it for good. We must increase and sustain pressure on our government leaders to empower and instruct law enforcement to act decisively against Jew hatred. We're also taking action at our own synagogue. And you'll notice that the security fencing around our property has mostly been installed. We all need to feel and be safe, especially here in our sacred kehillah, our sacred community. And this brings me to touch on our Torah portion, Shof'tim. The portion opens with the famous command, tzedek, tzedek tirdof, justice, justice shall you pursue. Shof'tim is fundamentally about building and maintaining a just and righteous society. It instructs us to appoint judges and officials to establish systems of law and to ensure that our leaders are held to the highest ethical standards. It's a blueprint for society where safety and fairness are not just ideals, not just social media posts, but realities. In a week where we have felt so vulnerable, where justice itself seems under attack, our Torah reminds us that we have the tools and the obligation to build a better reality. It reminds us that our pursuit of justice is a sacred act, a partnership with the divine. It is our source of strength and our message of hope. Speaking of messages of hope and wisdom for our tradition and from our tradition, I am delighted to invite Joel Sachs, who has graciously volunteered to share a sermon with us this morning and will also reflect on the events of this past week. Every one of our services concludes with the prayer, Sim Shalom, a prayer for peace. Please, God, grant peace. Sim Shalom Ba'olam, in the whole world. Today, I want to leave you with that simple yet profound blessing, Shabbat Shalom. May we all know a Shabbat of true peace, security, and wholeness.